Hello everyone. I'm just streaming and studying this morning. If you want to join in, I am doing my making notes. So I'll give you an idea of how to take notes and study every morning using a personal knowledge management system. If you're not too familiar with the personal knowledge management system, it's basically a way to organize your thinking so you can easily come back to them in the future and then rediscover some ideas. Now, when I do this, I also do um, my journaling all at the same time. So I'll show you a couple of journaling. Oh, my logo is still here. See, I'm testing out this stream. How do I disable? Whoop. hide. Hide. Yeah, there you go. Again, sorry, take two. Hello, everyone. I'm trying out this stream. I've been streaming before. Last year, I did online YouTube video and streaming, and today I thought about doing it again for the latter part of the year because a lot of people have been asking me to learn more about personal knowledge management, visual design, UX design. So if you're not familiar with who I am, I'm Ellie. I am a senior UX manager and a founder of one of the largest design communities nonprofit in the Philippines. It's called UX Philippines, and we're trying to do this experiment of reaching out to everybody again um, in um, teaching design again, making sure we're alive and starting to advocate good design in the Philippines, which is the mission vision of UX Philippines. And to be honest, I've been busy at work. I've been so busy, and I thought it would be nice to reach out again to the community, start making myself visible again. Hello, everyone, visible, and then starting my visibility with being online on on streaming. Although probably I'm just pacing it to do it every Saturday mornings. So, what's on the agenda today? Maybe I'll turn on my light. Let me just turn on my light. It's a bit dark. Oh. It's to change color hue. Yeah, there you go. Yep. So there you go. So yeah, I'm doing this live stream experiment. The purpose of this is one, it's really when you do live streaming, when you do recording yourself on video and you're alone, it's pretty funny because why do you keep doing this? But it's really good exercise for you to speak in public, to um, organize your thoughts, organize your thinking, and at the same time you have the session recorded, including the mistakes. Like I had the mistakes earlier. That's what I'm doing today. I'll show you typical morning, how my typical morning goes every weekday. So let me share my screen. Share screen. This is a new streaming setup that I'm trying out. Okay. Let me share my screen. Share this. Share. So I'm sharing my screen, which is here. Show on screen. Ta-da! Yeah, there you go. Want to move my head here. Okay. So this is an application called LogSeek. So LogSeek is a note-taking application. It's like Notion or Roam Research, if you're familiar with that. What I would normally do is I do some online writing. I do some online writing let me see how I do that here. Do some journaling, and if you don't know what to do in the morning, if you want to journal, a great app website is this scribbler.io. So scribbler.io, I joined an online, I always learn, I always study, and one of the courses that I took was let me show this to you. Let me show, how do I show this to you? Wait, not yet familiar how to use window, new tab, Safari. How do I share this to you? Wait a second. Oh yeah, here's how I share it to you. Share. Give me a sec. When I share this to you, show on stream. Yeah, there you go. So this is an app called the Most Dangerous Writing App. If you want to do journaling and don't know how to start, it's a great way to start journaling. And I'll show you in a minute why it's nice to start with this. So I use this for creative writing, and I'll do my creative writing now. To creative writing. So how does my morning typically looks like? I have a cup of coffee, although I haven't made my coffee yet. I start off with my daily journaling, and normally I have an app called Logseek. This is Logseek. This is the online version. I have an offline version. I'm not showing that because there are a lot of personal stuff there, but I'll show you how I normally work in terms of what's called the personal knowledge management system, building up your knowledge base. I think it's difficult to explain how beneficial this is until you actually do it and you start collecting information. Think of it as writing for your future self, doing these little things every day right now to organize your thinking, so that in when you look for it in the future, it's easier to just um, get the information when you need it. For example, sometimes I'm trying to recall what was that article or podcast that I talked about that talks about um, flow, state of flow. Who was that author? I would look for something like that. So for example, yeah, who I would say something. Who was that author? That author who wrote about the rise of Superman athletes who seem to be uh, to do more superhuman things and able to sustain these. For uh, example like Stephen Curry or LeBron James, Stephen Curry or LeBron. So how are they able to do this? And there was a book I remember that talked about this. So and I'd write something like this. I also normally write the time. So I have a shortcut in my um, it's 10, so it's 10 a.m. and I normally have a shortcut. So I'd write something like this, and it tells me what time. It tells me the day today, July 23rd, 2022, and this is something that I can now research or look at my notes. I do have the notes for this actually, and um, I can revisit this, and then mm, in the future, so I can see who is it. And in this particular case, it was actually Steve Kotler. And what's cool about an app like Logseek, the idea of bidirectional linking. So The idea of bidirectional linking is whenever you can instantly create a link, and that link creates a page, and that page is linked back. Easier for me to show you. For example, I don't know who this author, uh, Rise of Superman book. That's the title of the book, for instance. Stephen Kotler. Uh, Stephen Kotler. Yeah. So it is who wrote the Rise of Superman. Okay. And then I remember, it was Stephen Kotler. Oh, it was Stephen Kotler. And then, me just talking to myself. And then I would create this double tag here. This is something you can actually, I think you can also do this already with Notion. I know a lot of Notion users, but I just prefer to use Loudseek. And what happens is this creates a link. You notice it becomes a link. If I click on this, it instantly linked back. See, it's a linked reference back here to that article, to the journal, that entry that I made. So, and then I can add notes about Stephen Kotler here, Stephen Kotler, and the book itself. So there is an article on Google Books here. I can copy. And normally what I would do is, if I want to remember, I have a plugin that I use. It's a Chrome plugin, Chrome extension that shows highlighter. For instance, it's called the Rome highlighter. Yeah, Rome highlighter. I just like using this. And if I want to highlight this, highlight that, and I can copy the highlight. One highlight. What is being highlighted? Copy. What is the other ones to highlight it? Did I press another thing? Why are the two highlights here? Anyway, you can copy two highlights. Go here, paste it. Oh yeah, it was. So now, he is the author. Stephen is the author of this book. And I highlight it. And sometimes it's good practice so that you don't forget what you thought about it. So for instance, I read about this book, and I would say that I liked the idea of how this book takes a look at the concept of the psychological flow state. This book, and how athletes are able to instantly get into that state, psychological flow state, and sustain it longer. Maybe I can, yeah. So I try not to edit that myself immediately. Take a look at, just flow. Let your ideas flow, and after you've gone through it several times, you then you do your editing. But as much as possible, let your ideas, allow yourself to make mistakes at least. But that don't stop there. Keep improving. So what's happening now is doing my flow state. I will go back here to my journals, and I know that I have that link now. So in the future, if I look for Stephen Kotler, or even if I see Rise of Superman, I would see it here. It becomes, you just do this every day, like for 5 minutes a day. You'd be surprised at the amount of knowledge you'd be collecting. And it's basically the idea of having a second digital brain somewhere else. In my case, here in Loudseek. putting my thinking here so that when I need to look for it, it's here. Now, I can have further discussions of this idea later on if you're not too familiar. But yeah, so that's how my daily journaling looks like so far. Um, Give me a sec. Maybe let's have some background music while we study. I like my lo-fi beats. Lo-fi beats. Turn on my Spotify. Listen to lo-fi beats. And I think I'm allowed to play lo-fi beats, right? On stream. Can I play? Let me ask that. Can I play lo-fi beats? On Twitch, for instance. Are now free for use to content creators, streamers. Like, okay, so you can. Yep, it looks like lo-fi girl. So I listen to some lo-fi beats while working. Hello. You hear it? Yeah, I think you're hearing it. So I can play lo-fi beats. So I did this. Now the other thing I would do is do some fiction writing practice, and maybe I can put that tag like fiction writing practice or creative writing practice if you want. And to do my creative writing practice, I have this. I use this Scribbler.io. It's a dangerous writing prompt app, and you'll see why it's a dangerous writing prompt app. So you can write without a prompt, but I like having a prompt to start it off. Speaking of prompts, and that's okay. I can journal that actually. For instance, I can say that I'm streaming right now, starting soon, but I'm streaming right now live as I was about to start writing with the Scribbler.io app. I read the prompt, which reminded me, the word prompt actually reminded me of what I was just looking at last night in another app that generated AI generated art via artificial intelligence. And that app I'll show you is called Midjourney. So I have this app. I joined Midjourney. These are the AI generated. AI meaning I just type in some keywords and you'll see the keywords here that I used, and you'll see the art that's being generated. It's pretty interesting the way they do this. And Yeah, sorry, I was just distracted. Um, I'm sharing you. This is interesting. The AI generated art. So one of the challenges is to try to have the AI generated art generate text and make a poster. And in the community, you will see the prompt father. All prompt is theft. It's funny because the text, even the text are AI generated, and the prompt, the basically when you say prompt, the text that you copy and paste to Mid Journey, the app that will generate AI, the art for you, is is here. This is the prompt. I stole this prompt, poster by with text reading. So you copy paste this, and it will generate something similar, but not exactly like this prompt. So it's a running joke right now in Midjourney because people just keep copying each other's prompts or the text, and then generating art based off that because you come up with pretty good, cool art. So look at the nice artwork. This is from who's the person who generated this? This is from Jahumi. This is from the community. So for me, I was also trying to have the AI generate some actual uh, art, and the keywords that I was using was "Gone with the Prompt" from Gone with the Wind. I was playing with that. Look at this. Oh, if you're into Magic the Gathering, uh, this is Nicole Bolas. You might know Magic the Gathering. So I had it generate that art. So these are the art that was. Oh, this one of the art that I made, prompt burglar, and you can spend hours just you can just spend hours just playing art with this art, and yeah, that's how it looks like. And I'm already distracted. That's how distracting that Mid Journey app can be. So start with the writing prompt. Um, Try to create more content uh, um, instead of just writing, reading, consuming. So what I trying to do now, going back to this now. So and I can journal that actually. And for a few minutes, I was distracted again by looking some new AI generated. Okay, this is a new entry. Now So what happened? I think I got disconnected for a bit. That's so weird. I got disconnected for a bit. Anyway, what was I talking about before I got disconnected? Um, maybe I'm in a different. Oh, I mean, my internet line is not the stable one. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm actually using PLDT. PLDT tends to disconnect me every now and then. Sorry, PLDT friends. I don't know why it's happening here. Um, yeah, I got distracted again. So I was just talking about this random prompt generator, and what happens is it will generate a prompt, and I need to keep writing continuously for um, I need to continuously write for 5 minutes. You can change the number, the length, um, but and if you stop typing, it will blur out and disappear. So it gives you that rush of, oh, I need to. So let's go through that. Under normal circumstances, he would speak his mind, but with a gun, this is a nice prompt. But with a gun against his head, and I'll start writing. He said he figured it would shut his zipper flap. My friend. This thought flew in the mind of, I don't know, give me a name of a girl. Chandra. As she was being held hostage in the, I don't know, main street first bank of, I'm making it stuff up. Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, I'm starting to blur. Wait. I see if I stop. So the idea is for you to keep writing, or it will blur out, not just like that. It forces you to be creative with your writing. So and not really, you not be distracted with. Don't bother with the typo errors. Like this, is what I did. I just got distracted by typo error, um, which I should not be distracted. Focuses you. It forces you to focus on creative writing. What So what happened to the text that I made? And I just pressed on export, and it will save that piece of text. And I can copy paste it. I'll open it and copy paste it with to my notes now. Should open, copy paste it here. So I downloaded it. Put it in my log. Say I tried to work on this prompt, but as I was fixing a typo error, I ran out of time. Really ran out of time. It's like catching up to you. So I can continue writing here, but it's nice to just use the AI generator for the prompt writing prompt generator to really get more ideas on how to do some writing. So how does my workflow? So it looks like So annoying. I keep getting disconnected from my streaming. So I don't know why it's doing that. That's why this is a test. This is a test so that I can find out how what the experience is like. Anyway, I would read this article. People who read live longer than those who read live longer than those who don't. Yale researchers say. Listen to the article. The article is not loading.
People who read live longer than those who don't. Yale researchers say big think.
Bookworms rejoice. A new study in the journal Social Science and Medicine just discovered that people who read books live longer than people who don't. Researchers at Yale University asked 3,635 participants over 50 years old about their reading habits. From that data, they split the cohort into 3 groups. Non-readers, people who read less than 3.5 hours per week, and people who read more than 3.5 hours per week. The researchers followed up with each group for 12 years. The people who read the most were college-educated women in the higher income group. Over the course of the study, the researchers consistently found that both groups of readers lived longer than the non-readers. The readers who read over 3.5 hours a week lived a full 23 months longer than the people who didn't read at all. That extended lifespan applied to all reading participants, regardless of gender, wealth, education, or health factors, the study explains. That's a 20% reduction in mortality created by a sedentary activity. That's a big deal, and a very easy fix for improving quality of life in anyone over 50. Credit: Social Science and Medicine. The results get better. Compared to non-book readers, the authors continue, book readers had a 4-month survival advantage at the age when 20% of their peers passed away. Book readers also experienced a 20% reduction in risk of mortality over the 12 years of follow-up compared to non-book readers. The authors continue. Further, our analyses demonstrated that any level of book reading gave a significantly stronger survival advantage than reading periodicals. This is a novel finding, as previous studies did not compare types of reading material. It indicates that book reading rather than reading in general is driving a survival advantage. The reason books had greater gains than periodicals is because book reading involves more cognitive faculties. The readers didn't begin with higher cognitive faculties than the non-readers, they simply engaged in the activity of reading, which heightened those faculties. This finding suggests that reading books provide a survival advantage due to the immersive nature that helps maintain cognitive status, said the study's authors. As any book lover knows, reading involves 2 major cognitive processes: deep reading and emotional connection. Deep reading is a slow process where the reader engages with the book and seeks to understand it within its own context and within the context of the outside world. Emotional connection is where the reader empathizes with the characters, and that promotes social perception and emotional intelligence. Those cognitive processes were cited by the Yale team and used as markers for this study. While they apparently offer a survival advantage, better health behaviors and reduced stress may explain this process as well, according to the study. Still, those cognitive benefits are real, as writer Nicholas Barr explains. All the data was self-reported via phone survey, and it didn't really account for ebooks, but it's still encouraging. There are no real downsides to reading, other than making the time for it. but if you're not convinced and would rather have John Green teach you literature instead of reading the classics for yourself, philosopher and Yale University Dean Jeffrey Brenzel lays out 5 additional pro-reading benefits for you. Happy reading.
So it's pretty nice. I would read something like this.
The only way to beat the speed of light, big think.
In our universe, there
Or
are
it
a few rules
automatically
that
plays to the
everything
next
must
one.
obey. Energy.
Stop. Okay, it automatically plays to the next one. So I would read something like this. I would, you notice I made some highlights. I copy those highlights. Or if you're using another tool for highlighting, that's fine. I'm just using this one. So I would write some notes in my journal. I just read and heard about this study by Yale that book reading extends people's lifespan. Then I would copy paste highlighted material, so I know where, if I want to revisit that, I know where to look. So, and then add my notes to it, like summary notes. Summary notes is reading, and sometimes I make it into a new um, reading extends people's life. This is it becomes another bi-directional link, which I mentioned earlier. It automatically creates a page for me that is linked back to that particular date and time when I was thinking about that. So historically, I know when did I think about this, why was it thinking about it, and then I can add some notes. Sometimes I use an outline, so I can. What are my thoughts about this? If true, I should be reading more books. More books. And then if I had connections, I'd make connections with other articles or other keywords. Um, yeah, I'd complete this later. But it's nice to have this idea here. I'm online right now, but I can actually connect this to my offline version. Maybe I'll do that later, and then for next week, I can show how I do that journaling there. Um, yeah. So that's how I journal and took notes. And you just do this every day. Um, 1 to 2, 3 notes. You'll be surprised at the database of notes that you'll be creating. Let me show you an example of one that I was doing in Obsidian Publish, but I stopped updating this last week. Um, yeah, it's no longer because I didn't update my subscription. But this is an example of how my I structure my thinking now, and it's live coming from my that Logseek app that I was using earlier. I've been connecting those nodes and making these, and setting it up, and then publishing it online, organizing it into something that's more public. Yep, and that's how it's looking like. I will just look at. Yeah, so that's how I use this particular refined. Okay, I can actually say that I liked this. I can bookmark this and think big, read later. Um, there are other articles here that I like to take a look at. What else am I looking at? So that's a view of how I'm studying right now. And typically do something like this. You have shortcuts that make reflections. So for now, let's have some quick fun with Midjourney. Let's take a look at what people are. In Midjourney. So Midjourney. What's the community generating? Rising. Godzilla mech Gundam style. Whoa, that's nice. It's amazing how AI generates so much art right now. Leads these people. Those are the keywords. Felix the cat happy pastel pink. That's the prompt that's being used. And you'll see how the different versions before this person decided. Who's this? Kyun. Kyun decided on which version he wanted to upscale, and this is the version he wanted to upscale. Look at that. Amazing. There's a theme on dragons lately. The recurring theme. You'll see the forums that people have been doing dragons. Ice cream super saiyan. Ice cream dragon. That's funny. Portrait of a cute panda wearing a hoodie. Sup, yo? What was the other? These are the keywords that are used: single line drawing, line art, pencil art, watermark. So sometimes you. Wow, that's nice. It's pretty good. Let's look at the other artwork lately. Stealing from Spy Dummies. Oh, this is nice. What's the keyword? Murphy's law. Anything you can go wrong. Go wrong. Wow. You notice though in Midjourney, if I've been using it for a couple of days, Midjourney tends to be very good at portraits art or atmospheric art or architecture. So if you're into architecture, if you want to concept design, concept art, Midjourney, or if you're into portraits, Midjourney is pretty good at that. So I recommend you try out Midjourney. I think there's a free trial, but your free trial I think you can you're limited to probably like 10 images right now. So just play with Midjourney for now, and look at the different artworks. Um, hmm, what have been people start doing? So if I type on the top top of today, what are people working on today? Wow, intricate colorful painted carved wood paneling, dark souls, ivory, and copper. Oh, pixel art. Pixel. I love pixel art lately. Adorable anime girl visiting ancient Egypt. So, you know, Midjourney generated this. It looks like a poster. Oh my god. What are the other versions of this? This is from Zyvo. Look at the other anime characters that they generated. That's amazing. That's pretty good. This is Lion Paper Tiger Art Station. So Art Station, if you for some reason people use the keyword Art Station. So they're looking at the art from here, I guess, from Art Station, and using that as a reference for Midjourney. Yeah, I think they're using um, the art from ArtStation as reference for Midjourney, so they're looking for that particular style. Mm, Look at the other lion art that's being generated. It's so amazing. Let's take a look at the different artwork that he made. He's into that's a nice that so Midjourney is pretty good at generating things like these and faces like this. Wow, look at that portrait. Stunning portrait of a woman who looks like mix between Regina Spektor and Dakota Fanning trending on the art station. Art gem. Okay. And then Asian American middle aged man, orange scarf, medium long hair, mischievous. What is this key? What are these keywords so long? Yeah, that's so nice. What are the original images as well? So there are a lot of other images that it generated. Really good pieces of art. Uh, Handsome, cute ice rabbit. What's this? Handsome, cute art rabbit. Portrait of a cute rabbit as a knight in the style of Charlie Bowater. Oil painting, fantasy, cinematic, photo portrait, clear. That's long, but that is also very good. It's funny some of the output generated by um with journey. That's great. Just adorable so working as a construction worker. A woman. Handsome, cute ruby dragon in crystal forest background. Character background focus. High fantasy magic. It's very nice. This is Anubis. Anubis. That's good, Anubis. Wow. Look at that. It's pretty good. It's really amazing the kind of artwork that and poster, and I'm trying to do that. One of the things that I created was there's another app that can generate this is called Crayon or Dolly One, Dolly Mini, aside from Midjourney. But I also what I did was I used the keyword prompt Philippine farmer. Yeah. So these are my keywords. Philippine farmer in the style of Fernando Mersolo. So Fernando Mersolo is a Filipino painter uh, that does this kind of artwork. So it's pretty. I was pretty amazed when I saw this. It came out. It's really his style. It's usually the greens with farmers, in the valley with the Carabao, and really bright colors. So at the very least, with an app like Midjourney, you'll learn about the different art styles. And actually, it has a link here of the different styles. Worsham, prices, power. These are the keywords, I think. This is the art styles. So these are different art styles that are keywords that are being used by people on ArtStation. Pretty interesting. Hmm. Well, I'm 1 hour. So I just have 1 hour for the entire stream, just testing it out. I've been live for an hour. I will continue testing out this streaming if you'd like to learn along with me as I listen and learn and start uh, showing you how to build up your own visual knowledge management system. Let me just hide this right now. I'll start doing some early Saturday morning recordings if I'm awake by that time. But Saturday morning, hopefully around 2 hours, 2 3 hours. Um, Maybe if I have time tomorrow as well, tomorrow morning, I'll also record Sunday morning, do some live streaming. I'm hoping to do some learn how to code. I started learning how to code in React JS and some game basic game development. And I think I want to do that next tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll learn how to code a simple game, practice some game programming. I'll go through some tutorials first. So tomorrow, join me tomorrow if you want to learn with me doing some games. For now, that is it. I'll see you tomorrow or next week if you'd like to join me next Saturday morning and learn along with me. Yeah, see you guys next time. Bye bye.